OBS gang.
OBS gang.
You know where I'm from. You know where you at.
Obliviated.
OBS Boulevard.
The O stands for Obliviated. Obliviated broadcasting software.
Obliviated broadcasting for your entertainment purposes only.
Obliviate your friends and family with OBS.
OBS. O-block safety precautions. I'm Stallone. I'm your O-block safety advisor. First time in Chicago, come see me about OBS.
We'll get you outfitted. I like the idea of starting every episode talking about what OBS means.
Yes.
In some form or fashion. No, I had to OBS
Biddy syndrome.
Old baby slaves.
Optional bacteria segment.
Ostrich biting snake.
Ostrich biting snake. Is that like a scene, or is that like?
It's something you see at like the local.
Or is that the type of
OBS?
Is that the type of snake that it is? Like it's an ostrich biting snake.
It's security code. It's security code for
Oh yeah. Ostrich biting snake.
Yeah, for the local zoo when something goes wrong.
The ostrich is biting the snake, I repeat.
OBS. I have an OBS.
OBS. Exhibit 13. There's a little baby crying. We're going to get you down here real fast.
Now, our main topic today is going to be Stephen John 884.
Stevenson's 218, man.
218.
Tell us about that, Lou. Tell us about Elvin Lord.
What is
Stevenson's?
What is
Stevenson's 218? God damn it!
Okay, here. Let me fact check myself.
Yeah, let's.
Because maybe there's a bigger star named Richardson's 375. You never know.
It's called Mysterio 619.
Code name Booyaka.
Stevenson 2, DFK1, also known as Stevenson's 218, an enigmatic red supergiant or possible extreme red hypergiant star in the constellation of Scudum.
Wait, we're talking Scudum?
Boston 420.
Yeah, Austin 316.
Jeez. Those are the stars I care about.
Let me see the scale here.
Yeah, Steve Austin.
It's actually a star within itself is larger than the entire orbit of Saturn.
Whoa.
That's huge.
It has a volume of at least 10 billion times that of our sun.
I've actually been to the orbit of Saturn, and it's not as big as you think it is.
Yeah, man. I got around at one tank, man. Didn't even have to stop to refill. One tank of gas, dude.
That was my F-150, bro. Chevy could never.
Hell, if you had a Ford, nah, man. Don't even think about Saturn, let alone Venus or Mercury.
Yeah.
You probably couldn't even leave orbit with a Ford, dude.
I got around it in my Datsun.
My Datsun. Sorry, I took my MG midget to the to the bring of Saturn.
Yeah. Bro, let's go do that bachelor party next time somebody gets married. We're going to the orbit of Saturn.
The orbit of Saturn for the bachelor party sounds like an absolute banger of a time. Won't you throw some images? Let's throw some images of our bachelor party on Saturn up here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at those. That's beautiful.
Here's where you fell off the rover.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's you guys helping me back up.
Oh, there's you trying to eat soup, and it's like flying up over your head.
Jesus
I think that Saturn store gave me some.
Oh my gosh.
There's one guy
Wow.
at the bachelor party that doesn't know what we're about to do, and he thinks it's like going to be a normal club. And we just like drive up. We're like, oh, this is a weird place to have a club. He's like, and we're like, I guess, like thinking he's making a joke.
Yeah.
And we drive up, we like pile into a spaceship. And he's like, wait, what's happening?
Elon Musk, dude.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We like make him
Oh my
fly
God.
with us. He's freaking out the whole time. We're all just like chill about it.
Calm down, dude. The party hasn't even started yet.
Oh shit.
Just
It's
wait.
just, it's just a spaceship flying up with like a Datsun in tow, just like loosely flapping behind us. That's what we're gonna be driving.
Burning up in the stratosphere.
Yeah.
The paint's bubbling and falling off.
Dude, you're our DD. You can't be freaking out right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God.
There's strict laws around the orbit of Saturn.
Space police are no joke, man.
Oh shit. You want to get this thing started now? I think we've goofed enough.
Let's get this thing going. Welcome to Croaked, the podcast where we bullshit about our boys' trip to Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So today we welcome back Adam. Welcome,
Yeah.
brother.
Thank you.
So I wanted to talk about an interesting topic that I read about. It's a little late on the reporting, I guess, but I did want to talk about it since the recent season came to an end. But South Park, they're in the middle of a $500 million lawsuit between Warner Brothers Discovery, which have merged, and Paramount. So Paramount was promised, or Warner Brothers, HBO was promised 30 episodes for 3 seasons, and they've only gotten 14. So there's only 6 episodes a season right now, and then plus the specials that they got for HBO. And I noticed it. I know a lot of people noticed it. People everywhere online seem to be kind of divided on it. So I'm unsure how to feel about it. A lot of people are saying it's good because it means more quality episodes, even though there's less. But a lot of people are saying, no, it sucks because, shorter seasons, obviously, which I feel that way kind of, I personally, for me, things like South Park have not really dipped so much in quality, aside from the fact when they started doing storylines like the last couple seasons, I wasn't crazy about those. But like, other than that, I think the quality is pretty up there still. But
You mean like where it spans from episode to episode?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Storylines like that, yeah.
Yeah, I was not crazy about it. Like, they're obviously very memorable, but like, they were good episodes, but it's just not the kind of South Park that I enjoy the most,
Yeah, it does make it more difficult to just like throw on a random episode of South Park because then you're just in the middle of a story and you're like, oh.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're gonna go back to part 1.
Yeah. When I'm rewatching South Park, I always tend to skip those like couple 3 seasons where it was like really storyline heavy.
Yeah, but at least you have those. You do want to,
right? Yeah.
People have those if it's what they like.
Invested in the South Park lore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about, shows ending at a certain point and, what shows, like examples of shows that you feel ended at the right time, maybe. Because there's a lot of shows that I think, were doing fine up until they tried to change it too much, and then it was like overboard because they tried to change it too much, not because it went on too long, but rather, regular show, for instance, they changed the last season, was very odd. I was not crazy about it because they went into space. And it was like, the storylines were already pretty far-fetched, but like, I don't know, the space setting just really killed the show for me. It was not my favorite.
Doesn't sound like a regular show to me. I mean, I could go on for fucking hours on why SpongeBob was terrible after the like first 3 or 4 seasons, but Yeah, it's like they took these characters in, SpongeBob and Patrick, and they tried their best to like just make them the same character. That's like the biggest flaw that I saw that like led to all these other problems. Or like they just tried to make them both idiots, and they were just now two of them, and they like kind of combined their personalities together into one sort of amorphous thing.
Right.
When like in the first couple seasons, SpongeBob was extremely naive, but he wasn't like stupid. Like he had his life together. He had a job. He had a house. He was clean. He had a pet. He had it kind of together. He was just super naive. And Patrick was the one that literally lives under a rock, and he's like the Kramer of the group. He's telling SpongeBob these things that are like 30% true. Yeah, he's trying to get him into situations like the episode where he tells him to keep holding his pinky up when he goes to see Sandy. Like, he just heard that?
Exactly. Yeah.
You imagine him like hearing it at like a bar or something. Like, no, it's what fancy people do. They hold their pinky up. Just these like half truth, and SpongeBob being naive is like, oh, that makes sense. You can listen to Patrick. Yeah,
it's the.
But then, yeah. Oh, you cut out. Sorry, what'd you say?
I was saying it's the best combo for a children's show.
Yeah.
I feel what you mean with that. I was watching a lot of SpongeBob. I was rewatching it last night actually, and I think I'm on like season 5 or something right now, and like I can't. I got a soft spot for those episodes too. So like I still love them. Paul Tibbett was the showrunner at that moment, which I think he did a very good job with a lot of things, but a lot of people think that he was the downfall of SpongeBob. So there's a lot of mixed opinions on Paul. There's a lot of mixed opinions on the current showrunner as well, but I love it all. There's a few things that I'm not crazy about, such as like Camp Coral or something, but like that's a whole other story in itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of indifferent with SpongeBob. SpongeBob's got a very soft spot for me. So.
Yeah, there's a few years there where that's like the only thing I've ever watched.
Yeah,
on television.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I got my dad actually. My dad's he just turned 70, and he's like a big SpongeBob fan.
Oh yeah.
But he only likes like the first couple seasons.
Oh yeah.
And I got him, I think probably 3 or 4 years ago, I got him this DVD set because he's got like he doesn't have any of the Netflix stuff.
Right.
And I got him this DVD set of the first 100 episodes of SpongeBob.
Those are the best. Yeah.
Yeah. And those are probably my favorites. Just that first 100.
Yeah. I think that's what I have is like I have the one that's it's like the top rated ones, like the top episodes or whatever.
Yeah. There's some, it's always funny when you see like I think they're on Amazon Prime or whatever, probably a couple places you can find all the episodes, but in the case of like the DVD where it showed the first 100, it was funny to watch through them and see like I can't think right off the top of my head which ones, but there were a couple that like they barely ever showed on TV.
Yeah.
And then you see them and you're like, oh yeah, I remember I've seen this like once or twice, and then the other ones you've seen like 50 times. And
you can't. Yeah, Panty Raid doesn't air, and one other doesn't air anymore at all. And you can only watch them through DVD releases. They're not even on streaming either.
There was one. I think it was the one where SpongeBob uses that like piece of paper to do all that crazy shit. You remember that one where he like uses it as a propeller and like can use it? It was just like this piece of paper, and he starts to use it as like all these different things, and then Squidward wants it.
I do, but like,
and Squidward like really wants it, and he ends up giving him like all his stuff for the piece of paper.
Yeah, Squidward trades everything he owns for a piece of paper. Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's that one was only shot on TV like a couple times. The first time I saw it on TV, I remember because I was like, "How is this?" Like I thought it was maybe a new episode, but it was clearly like old animation, old style. I'm like, what the hell?
Huh. I barely remember that. I seem to kind of remember the gist of that, but I was thinking of the one where that's obviously like a later one. It's like a season 4 or something where like Mr. Krabs is at the store and he's checking out and like he looks out the window and sees SpongeBob and SpongeBob's walking around. He's like,
oh yeah.
And then he stops and he like picks up a penny off the ground.
Yeah.
And, like he spends the whole episode like doing all this elaborate shit just to get SpongeBob to give him the penny.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 nickels, 1 quarter, no pennies.
He starts like hallucinating that like the moon has turned into a penny on his drive up.
Yeah.
He finally gives up, and then like it cuts outside of SpongeBob's house, and Krabs is like digging all those holes in his yard, like looking for the penny, thinking he buried it somewhere.
Jesus,
jeez, man.
That's a metaphor
I would
for something.
like to donate a penny.
You would?
If I only had one.
Jesus.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was about to say, what about the pearl growth spurt, where he like goes and has to raid everybody's fridge, like he rips out his gold tooth to give to SpongeBob, like.
Jeez.
Pearl is an odd character. Pearl's one of them characters you forget exist almost until you watch an episode with her. Like I felt that way this morning when I woke up. An episode with her was playing. It was the one where she was turning 16, and like, and like it was just like so odd. Like I don't know. It was one of those moments where you were like dissociating that character, I guess, in a way, like where you're just like, is this a real character? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Such an odd character that just exists and you totally forget about.
Yeah, especially to have an episode that's like all about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
focused on her. Yeah, it's so out of the ordinary.
Because when she just shows up like randomly, you can kind of just discount her as like, it's just another side character.
Yeah.
But when it's like the whole episode's about it, you're like, what? Is this a different show?
Yeah, you're seeing a whole new like side of that character, like not only like acting wise, but you're seeing it like a new model almost of the character, like doing different crazy things. So that's probably why it looks so odd to me.
And of course, Mr. Krabs acts different around her, and so you're seeing this like other side to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure they did that intentionally because, like, I can't even think about any episodes in the first season where even Pearl's like even there at all.
Like, it's like Frank on It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, Frank. He was not like really main there until again. Yeah.
That's when it got good. The longer Frank's hair gets, the better the episodes are.
Gosh. Changes in shows can be good and bad, you know. A lot of people are hating on the South Park thing. A lot of people are liking it. A lot of people didn't like, you know, SpongeBob when it changed, or Family Guy, or Simpsons, or, you know, but all these shows I feel have to change a little bit to keep up with the times, or people wouldn't really watch them. They'd have that same fan base of like a certain amount of people watching them forever, and they would never gain any new fans really, because they're such a niche thing at that point that but change is good. Change is good. So it doesn't,
I always look at it like especially when a show goes on for several seasons, like sometimes you know, like the Office is one where I think it diminishes after Steve Carell leaves.
Yeah.
You know, but like you still get the first 6-7 seasons, like you still have that. So the way I think about it is like I don't think that they ruin anything by making those changes, or you know, shifting the format of the show or whatever. It's just it like that would only apply with a show that had like a beginning and an end. You know, not like a sitcom or like a Family Guy or like a SpongeBob where it's just a never-ending flow of episodes. Like if it's a storyline, like maybe Game of Thrones or something, where it's like got a beginning and an end to the story, I can understand how you might not like changes in later seasons.
Right.
But, you know, Where it's just like a show that you can just take bite-sized pieces of. It's like, who cares if it changes to, fit somebody else's likes and dislikes.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree with you on that as well. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks, but it doesn't at the same time to see, because without it a lot of stuff would be canceled as well. Like a lot of stuff would have been straight up just ended without keeping up with the times. South Park is one of them that changed as well with the times. So I feel like that's partially why people love it so much, is because it changed, but not like it didn't try to be something that it's not. It tried to stay the same. It kind of stayed the same for the most part. It didn't try to.
It's targeted really everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Man.
I think that's what people respect about South Park the most, is that they don't take prisoners. They go after everybody.
Yeah.
There's no holding back.
I got a new setup ordered, so that'll be pretty cool when it gets here.
Oh yeah, it was like you sent me a picture. It was like a 3-level desk. You have like a chair that extends up 10 feet in the air.
It's level.
It's at levels.
You're gonna be one of those stand-up gamers now. You stand up and do everything. Jay, listen, dude, sitting's the worst thing you can do for your body, man.
Yeah.
I'm standing, bro.
Chugs G Fuel.
God,
yeah,
standing desk people are the worst.
Rips a big fat mod off his desk.
Yeah. Sitting down is literally the worst thing you could do for your body.
Always active, man. I'm always on go, dude. Even when I play these games, man. Can't be fully lazy, dude.
You're like, yeah, standing desk people are the worst. And we just see you go. Zzz.
Yeah, I know. You see my whole desk rattling, and I'm like lowering it.
Yeah. I worked at a accounting firm one summer in college, and this is a really exciting story. And basically, the gist of it is that we had those standing desks, and you could sit down at them, and then you just hit a button, and it would just go raise up. And there was one guy that worked there that like always had his on like the standing thing, like up. I was like, I don't know how you do it, man. Standing for 8 hours.
No way.
But then I figured out that he just like wasn't actually at his desk all the time. He was just fucking around.
Yeah.
It was like whenever I was around him, he was standing there, and I'm like, yeah, like indestructible knees, dude.
I hated standing when I worked at like low jobs like Ingalls, like lower like high school type jobs where I was like cashier, and then I worked in the deli for a little bit.
You had an Ingalls in your high school?
Yeah, we had an Ingalls right in the middle of high school.
How did I never see that?
It was there. It was there.
High school grocery store.
That would have been sick, actually.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having the Ingalls in the high school?
Dude, some schools got such good lunches. We got nothing. We got shit lunch.
Some schools like literally have like skate shops inside of them, dude. It's like, what is even going on here? It's like,
yeah.
God.
Water fountains with Coca-Cola spewing out of them. It's like, dude, what are we doing here, y'all?
I don't think that exists. That'd be so sticky. Imagine. Just like it sprays on the floor, and the janitor just has to deal with like sticky floors constantly.
Be absolutely disgusting. The drain would just be sticky, like saliva, like old Coke.
We got like snack machines and drink machines that had like regular snacks and drinks in them for about a few months, and then they took them out and replaced them with like healthy versions of everything. And so they had like Gatorade Zero, Diet Pepsis, and stuff like that. It was just horrible. Like what? Like
baked chips.
Yeah, baked chips. Yeah. Like God. Oh my god,
God,
those
dude,
people hyped those up so much. I hated those things.
they're
They
not
tasted
good,
so
bro.
stale and bland, dude.
They
Yeah.
just hyped them up because they thought they were like being different or something.
Yeah.
Right. You
I
can
remember
kind of
first
taste the
time.
cheese.
Yeah.
I remember first time I saw like baked hot Cheetos. I was like, where did y'all even get these? Like, where do you even order these from?
Yeah. God. They're
Baked.com.
they're hard to find even they're literally hard to find even in the store, like just like on the shelf. So like
There's a reason for that.
dude, I remember just the feeling of coming home and like I don't know what like your guys' going home routine after school was, but like I had to ride the bus until like late high school. And
Yeah, same.
so like so I would get off the bus and I would come inside. Family like Papa wasn't home yet because I lived with my grandparents, so like he wasn't home, so I had the whole upstairs to kind of chill without nobody like having a presence. I could just kind of like relax and do whatever, go make food and everything. So I would go upstairs and stand in the kitchen, and we had a TV on top of the fridge, and I would just like watch like those weirdest shows that would air at that very moment in time. Like when we got off school, there was like it was like the weirdest programming hour of TV, I think. Like I think I want to say like early high school when I was getting off, it was like Penguins of Madagascar was playing most of the time, and
I think TBS usually had like King of the Hill at that time, or like maybe
yeah. TBS had some of like the best stuff at that time. You had like Family Guy sometimes, American Dad, I think was moved over at that moment. Came on TBS only program at that time. The same applies for early in the morning. I think when I woke up, it was like a lot of weird shows, like Lego Legends of Chima. I remember airing
Lego
Pokemon.
Ninjago.
Yeah, Ninjago. Fucking. I'm trying to think what else. There was a Pokemon airing at the time, but I think it was like Black and White or something around.
Lego Maury Povich.
You are not the father. Jesus Christ. Could you imagine?
Jerry Springer.
I'm gonna need
Lego Springer.
A block DNA test.
They have to use the Lego like set code to find out if they came from the same set or not.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. That baby has a hairpiece that only comes in this one set. That couldn't possibly be the father.
Yeah. It was only printed once.
It's a misprint. Look at the back of her head.
Jeez, bro.
Only sold in the U.S. between the years of 73 and 76.
This baby was clearly created in 82. Whatever.
Her father wasn't even produced till late 79 in Cancun.
Her father was made out of Duplo blocks.
They're not even the same brand.
It pans over to the father. He's like this giant dude, like compared to the Lego guys. He's got this huge head.
God.
Doesn't even speak their language. Like some other deep, like archaic language.
No speech. Click tongue, like Duplo, like
yeah.
Very basic form of communication.
They talk like the Duplo blocks in like the second Lego movie where they're just like they talk like babies basically, but they're like really smart,
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
That second Lego movie would have been so good if it didn't have so many dang musical numbers in it, dude.
Bro, they had like a whole Lego Batman musical for some reason. Like,
yeah. I think movies like that ruin themselves when they make it too musical. Like it'd be different if the music was written well, but like there's like usually only like one or two good ones, and the rest are like they sound like they just like made it up the night before, and
or they just had a script already written, and they're like, "What if we sang this?"
Yeah, exactly. Like shows like Phineas and Ferb get that really good. You know, Phineas and Ferb, it's like all the songs, I don't think there's a single bad song from Phineas and Ferb, dude. Like they're all really, really well done, in my opinion.
Man, I remember when that show first started making episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, I rewatched the first like 3 or 4 episodes they were airing. Like I don't even know, probably 6 or 7 times. It was so good.
Yeah, man, it's such.
And we weren't even like that young when they first started coming out. We were like what, maybe 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah, probably like 8th grade, maybe, or freshman year, maybe even. But it's because it has such a good like team behind it. Like Dan Povenmire, he worked.
Oh, the poster.
yeah. He does Dr. Doofenshmirtz's voice and stuff, and he does writing, and he's like a co-creator as well. He worked on SpongeBob in like the early days. He like did like Squidward character designs and stuff a lot. Like when they were drawing Squidward or like any of the characters for like storyboards and stuff, he did storyboard art. It's very, very, very cool. He's had like a good history with a lot of good shows in the past. So has Swampy. That's what the nickname for Jeff is. I think his name's Jeff, I believe. The other lead on Phineas and Ferb. He's also been in a lot of good stuff. He does the voice for the lead spy dude for Perry the Platypus, the guy that Perry Platypus.
Oh yeah. I forget his name. The like white-haired general dude.
Yeah. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah. They're all really good.
Maury Povich.
Andrew Povich.
I think you should leave. Season 3's coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
That's
what's that show about?
Ready for that.
It's about starving alligators who are living in the Nile.
Whoa.
It's real sad.
Whoa.
They can only
it's not the show I remember.
Takes a turn after season 5 though. Okay. Got a spicy one this time.
So welcome back to our segment we like to call I Can't Believe It's Not Canon. I love the name. I think we'll stick with it.
We'll see.
Wait, we should all say it together, guys.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I
can't believe it's not canon. Perfect.
How terrible. Okay. This episode, we gave the AI the prompt, give us an episode of King of the Hill where Hank Hill wins a trip to see the Hadron Collider. So on this episode, we'll give our roles out real quick. I'll be Hank. Joe, you can be Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
Customer can be Lou.
Me, yo.
Who wants to be Bobby? Lou? Okay.
Yeah.
Prisoner.
I'm prisoner as well.
Okay. Imperial soldier, Adam.
Yeah, that's gonna be me, and guard as well, I think.
And guard, yeah. And then I'll do Jarl, and then Joe can do the narration.
All right. Fade in. Interior. Hank and Peggy's kitchen. Day. Hank Hill and his wife Peggy are sitting at their kitchen table, sipping on their morning coffee. Hank is flipping through a Megalomart circular while Peggy is reading a travel magazine.
Peggy, you won't believe what's happening at the Megalomart.
What's going on, Hank?
They're hosting a propane competition. Whichever local branch sells the most propane wins a trip to see the Hadron Collider's new functioning propane system.
Oh boy, that sounds like a real hoot.
Peggy, this is a big deal. I've got to make sure our branch wins.
Why don't we turn this into a family vacation? We can visit the Hadron Collider and make a road trip out of it.
A vacation? Peggy, I don't know. I've got to focus on winning this competition.
Come on, Hank. You work really hard all year selling propane. This could be a fun opportunity for the whole family.
You know what, Peggy? You're right. Let's do it. But first, we've got to start planning.
I've already started. I've been doing some research on places to visit along the way.
Well then, let's get to work.
The couple leans in towards each other and the scene fades to black. Fade in, interior Megalomart day. Hank is dressed in his best khakis and blue polo shirt as he stands behind his propane display in Megalomart. He greets customers as they walk by and talks to them about the benefits of using propane.
Now, propane is a clean, efficient energy source. It's great for grilling, heating your home, and even powering your car.
Really? I've never thought about using propane for my car.
Oh yeah, propane is a great alternative to gasoline. It's cheaper and better for the environment.
As the day goes on, Hank sells more and more propane. He even convinces some customers to buy larger quantities for their businesses.
Looks like we're going to win this competition after all.
Later that night, Hank receives a call from Megalomart with exciting news.
What? We won? That's great news. Thank you so much.
Peggy and Bobby, who are sitting on the couch, look up at Hank with anticipation. Well, what is it?
We won the competition. We get to go see the Hadron Collider's new propane system.
That's great, Hank.
Can I come too?
Of course you can, Bobby.
Fade out. Fade in, exterior CERN day.
This is CERN.
CERN facility.
Hank and his family are at the CERN facility, preparing for a tour. Hank, Peggy, and Bobby are greeted by staff and walked through the double doors and down the hall into the lab where everything is kept.
This is incredible. Who knew propane could power something like this?
That's why we're here, Hank, to learn about all the amazing things propane can do. The family begins their tour of the Hadron Collider. They see various machines and experiments that use propane, and they even get to see the new propane system in action.
This is so cool. I never knew propane was so versatile.
That's my boy.
Hank, looking at the Hadron Collider.
This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I gotta get a closer look.
Be careful, Hank. Bobby looks on, fascinated. Peggy and Bobby are standing at the railing of the Hadron Collider, staring in awe. Hank had been leaning in closer to get a better look at the functioning propane system in the Hadron Collider when he lost his footing and fell into the machinery. As he fell, he felt himself being ripped apart in the beams of light and dust, his body disintegrating into a million pieces. Hank couldn't comprehend what was happening as he was caught in a swirling vortex of light and sound. Cut to exterior SKYRIM day.
There he is.
Skyrim.
Hank wakes up. This looks familiar. Hank wakes up in the back of a carriage, bound and gagged with other prisoners. The carriage is headed to Helgen, a small town in Skyrim.
Where am I? What's going on?
You're in Skyrim, my friend. Looks like we're all headed to Helgen.
The carriage arrives in Helgen, and the prisoners are forced to disembark. Cut to exterior Helgen day. The prisoners are lined up to be executed by the Imperials.
You are all guilty of crimes against the Empire. Any last words?
Hank looks around in confusion, trying to make sense of the situation. Suddenly, a loud roar interrupts the proceedings, and a dragon swoops down and attacks the town. Hank and the other prisoners take advantage of the chaos and make a run for it. Cut to exterior Riverwood, day. Hank is hiding in the small village of Riverwood, trying to make sense of his new surroundings.
I can't believe this is happening. I've got to find a way back home.
Suddenly, a group of bandits attacks the village. Hank fights back, using his knowledge of propane and propane accessories to defend himself.
Jeez.
Cut to exterior Whiterun, day. Hank arrives at the city of Whiterun, seeking refuge and answers. Hank walks through the bustling streets of Whiterun, looking around in amazement at the medieval-style buildings and people in armor. As he wanders, a guard approaches him.
Excuse me, stranger. We've had reports of a strange man who appeared out of nowhere. You'll need to speak to the Jarl.
Hank looks confused, but follows the guard to Dragon's Reach, the castle in the center of Whiterun. Interior Dragon's Reach, day. Hank is escorted into the throne room, where Jarl Balgruuf the Greater is sitting in his throne.
What brings you to my city, traveler?
Well,
It's still good.
well, I'm not really sure. See, I was at this propane competition in my world, and I accidentally fell into some kind of machine. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the back of a carriage on my way to Helgen. And now I'm here in this world.
Propane competition.
Yes, you know, propane and propane accessories. It's what I sell. I'm a propane salesman.
I'm afraid I don't understand. And what is this car and cell phone you keep mentioning?
Hank tries to explain using many future words, but only confuses the Jarl even more.
So you see, I was just minding my own business back in my hometown of Arlen, Texas, when all of a sudden, I'm in this strange land, and there's a giant lizard breathing fire at me.
A dragon, you say?
Yeah, a dragon. And I'm pretty sure this is all just some sort of elaborate amusement park. I mean, I've been to some pretty crazy ones in my time, but this takes the cake.
Jarl Balgruuf looks at Hank skeptically.
You expect me to believe that you traveled through some portal and ended up here?
Well, I don't know how it happened, but that's what I remember.
Jarl Balgruuf strokes his beard, contemplating Hank's words.
So, let me get this straight. You were in some kind of strange machine. Then you woke up in our world.
Yeah, that's right. And then I saw this big flying lizard breathing fire all over the place. I thought it was some kind of ride, but it was way too real.
And you're and you're sure you're not some kind of mage, using some kind of ancient magic to get here?
No, sir. No, sir. I don't know anything about magic. I just sell propane and propane accessories.
Propane. I have no idea what that is. But I'm willing to believe that you're not from around here. We could use someone like you. Someone with unique skills.
Hank brightens up at the mention of his skills.
Well, sir, I do know a thing or two about propane, and I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. If you need any help around here, just let me know.
I have a feeling we'll be calling on you soon enough, Hank. In the meantime, why don't you take some time to explore our city? And if you see any more dragons, be sure to let us know.
Will do, sir. Thanks for your help.
Hank turns to leave, still trying to make sense of the strange world he's found himself in. Fade out.
Beautiful.
Jesus.
Wow, that was
Dragonborn.
We don't know that yet. Could just be a regular old propane salesman.
could just be a propane guy.
Traveling propane salesman.
Traveling
that was a good
propane
one.
salesman in the new
Propane
kind of
trader.
world. Jesus.
That was a
That
good
was
one. I do
gorgeous.
like I like how it said Hank tries to explain many future words as if like Skyrim is just the past.
Yeah.
And not like a totally different universe. Yeah, you know,
Oh
Skyrim
God, I just landed here. For real.
For real, for real.
That dragon
Just
was
me
bussing.
bussing.
Yeah.
Arrest this man till he calms down on what substance he's taken.
You're also like, hang on, let him cook.
Throw this man in the dungeon. He's been rambling about some sort of new drug called propane. He's been huffing it all day.
He keeps saying big bet and for real, for real.
Put him in the hole with his beloved propane.
He keeps
See how long
worshiping.
he lasts.
He keeps
You guys
worshiping
have
this
propane?
Jah character,
Oh shit.
singing high praises to this Jah.
What exactly is a poo shiesty? Man, that's a good one. I don't know if I don't know which storyline I like better, honestly, the Stallone Batman or Hank Skyrim
A tough one.
Dragonborn.
It's a tough decision. They're both so
And will they ever meet?
they're so
the real
cinematically deep.
Yeah.
They have level.
And that goes back to levels.
Man, if they heard our Sylvester Stallone arc, they would lose their mind.
They wouldn't know what
Tulsa
to do.
King Disney World arc
Oh,
was
God.
a novel in itself.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that on the podcast, did we?
No, we haven't. So
that was our own personal acid trip of.
They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that.
The world isn't ready for that. That was deep and hardcore.
Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure it was illegal to make a story like that.
If that were to get out, man, it's over. Like,
yeah, that's locked deep in the vault.
Oh, sure.